is going to be reflecting this basically by showcasing innovations that improve our food security systems on the African continent. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about the Indaba. And as I understand it, we're in the 8th year this year, and we have on the line Manuel Singano, who is Commercial Director of African Agri Investment Indaba. Thank you very much for joining us, Manuel. A pleasure to have you on Channel Africa.
Good afternoon. It's also a pleasure for you having me, and I'm appreciative to the channel. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. I think this is such a wonderful theme that we're looking at for the year 2025 that focuses on building a more self-resilient Africa through, what we reflect in our food systems. Talk to us about the Agribusiness Indaba, perhaps before we get into the big themes for the year. The African Agri Investment Indaba, its significance rather, especially as we look at the 8th edition this year.
Well, thank you so much. As you rightly have mentioned, the African Agri Investment Indaba will be happening again for the 8th year. We started this event in 2016. So this year we are celebrating 8th year of hosting the Indaba. And this is the largest gathering, or rather the Africa's largest food and agriculture investments, where we've got investors and policymakers and all industry experts in the agricultural sector meeting to discuss opportunities and challenges opportunities that are available for the African agricultural sector and challenges that we are facing in the agricultural sector. And the focus, as the name stands, African Agri Investment Indaba, we are looking at channeling investments into the agricultural sector in Africa.
Okay. So just on that note then, Manuel, let's look at the theme and how you're going to get to those desired outcomes. The theme, as we understand it for this year, the new world order, a self-sufficient Africa. How is this going to shape the agenda for the conversation this year, especially when we look at investing with the purposes of innovation and renovation of African food systems?
Wonderful. Well, the theme underscores the urgent need for homegrown, scalable solutions that will reduce reliance on imports and external aid. I think Africa, we have been so much reliant on outside other countries to support us. So Africa needs innovations that strengthen local value chains, promote climate smart production, enhance regional trade, and leverage technology to increase productivity and market access. I think you understand we are living in a time where there is a lot of technological innovations that are coming up, and it's so the same in the agricultural sector. So we need to focus on leveraging technology to increase productivity and market access. At the same time, the focus will also be on practical, commercial, viable innovations that build resilience, efficiency, and food sovereignty. And that will help in Africa, being able to produce more and be able to feed its people.
Absolutely. If you've just started listening, we're 20 minutes into 1 p.m. in Central African time. We're looking at the African Agri Investment Indaba for the year 2025, scheduled to take place in Cape Town. On the line with me is Manuel Singano, who joins me in his capacity as Commercial Director of African Agri Investment Indaba. Manuel, let's talk about just some of the gaps that still exist, the gaps that are sort of causing rifts in our mission here on the African continent, and us being able to build a really self-reliant or self-sufficient agricultural ecosystem.
Thank you. That's a very good question. So there is quite a number of gaps. I can just mention a few that have been coming up in a lot of the discussions that we've been having. I mean, we as Africa, we face limited access to affordable finance, especially for smallholder farmers. There's not so much money or investments that are being channeled to smallholder farmers. And some of the investors that we have spoken to over the years that we've been involved in this work, there is a lot of big tickets. I mean, one would start from maybe 50 million and above, $50 million. And a smallholder farmer is perhaps looking for $1 million or $2 million. So there is limited access to affordable finances for the smallholder farmers. We're also looking at insufficient infrastructure for storage, processing, and logistics. As you know, some of the challenges that we are facing in different countries where uh, from farm to the market, the roads are damaged. So the infrastructure for storage, processing, and logistics is a gap that we have seen, and also fragmented policy environments across the countries. Governments, of course, we know they put up some policies, and sometimes the policies are not favorable to the sector. And we're also looking at the low adoption of technology and digital tools. If we look at in the West, in Europe, maybe in Asia, there is a lot of use of technology. And if Africa was to close some of this gap where our farmers or our smallholder farmers don't use as much of the technologies, if that gap is closed, it can simply help us to improve efficiency, and really there will be great productivity. And we're also looking at weak links between producers, processors, and markets. And most of them, they sometimes do operate in silos. But if they can be a link that is seamless, where producers, processors, and the market can be able to be linking together, we will be able to see that Africa can be able to attain higher levels of food production. That being said, if these gaps are closed, there will be effectiveness. And so the Agri Investment Indaba is will be looking at addressing these gaps between policymakers, financiers. And so we're bringing together all the policymakers, financiers, agribusinesses, innovators in one platform, facilitating collaboration, policy alignment, and investments and matchmaking. And we believe that the Indaba is creating structured deal financing sessions that directly link investors with bankable agri projects.
Right. With all of that said, because that everything is quite significant, and that is the goal. That's the goal. We really are trying to move agricultural spaces on the continent from being aid-driven to more investment-led when we look at growth. So let's then look at another big and great idea when it comes to this year's occasion with regards to the Seed and Startup Program. Please talk to us about how that's going to shift the agricultural narrative in the direction in which you just mentioned.
Well, thank you. So the Seed and Startups Program, we began this last year, where we are bringing the early stage projects. When I say early stage, I mean those projects that are just venturing into the sector, and they are offering commercial viability and scalable solutions. So we are offering that Seed and Startup projects where early stage projects are showcasing their products and services. And so this Seed and Startup program provides startups with an opportunity to link up with investors, readiness in training. They also be able to attend our matchmaking sessions when they can be able to meet face to face with investors or meet face to face with prospective clients. For instance, if one startup is producing potatoes, they have an opportunity to meet with, let's say, an agro-processing company, perhaps that is processing potatoes to produce chips. So we are looking at exposure as well to financiers that are actively seeking high-growth agri-ventures. So the Seed Startup Project really would also be highlighting local entrepreneurs. We are having farmers or companies from all across the 9 provinces of South Africa that will be showcasing their work, their products. And so it puts them in a primary position where they can be able to showcase their products. And as well, it positions African agri-tech and agribusiness innovations to showcase their products and as worthy investment opportunities. Investors are looking for worthy investment opportunities, and that will reshape the narrative from support us to invest in us. So that's why we are having these Seed and Startup programs. Variety of farmers showcasing their products and their work that they are doing across the 9 provinces of South Africa, and even some from all across the continent.
Okay. This is a very important gathering, Manuel. I mean, food is big business. There's money in the soil. I think we can all agree on that. But let's talk about the delegation. Who is scheduled to come through to the Indaba? And also in your response, perhaps just fit in how we can perhaps register to be part of this Indaba this year.
Thank you very much. So, as I've mentioned in the beginning, that the Agri Investment Indaba is the largest food and investment platform in Africa. We are bringing delegates from all across the continent and also from the international community. So, we are looking at policymakers from the government. We have a representation from the Department of Agriculture in South Africa, from the SADC region, and from all across Africa. We are also having investors from the international community that are looking for opportunities to invest. We have farmers, we have local farmers, we've got farmers associations, agri-tech companies, agro-processing companies. I mean, I would say in a nutshell, we are looking at the whole value chain of people that are involved in the agricultural sector to be able to meet and discuss, what can be done to improve African agriculture. And just to note that for people that are interested to register, you can be able to go to our website, www.agricouncil.org. You can be able to have a look where it says register. It will give you all the information of what you need to do in terms of how much it's costing, with different prices for the private sector and the public sector and the SMMEs. Right. Also, perhaps you can be able to get in touch with me. My number is 078 164. I will repeat, 078 And we are also on the social media platforms. We are on X, we are on LinkedIn, we are on Facebook. You can just search for African Agri Council, and you can just tag us or send something. We can be able to respond. Our team is available to respond to you should you wish to register and attend as a delegate.
All right. Yes, you still have some time, not a lot of time, but you do still have some time. It is taking place from next week, Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken, Emmanuel.
Yes, actually we're starting from Monday the 24th up to Tuesday the 25th, and the final day is the 26th. So Tuesday we start in the morning at 9 o'clock. We have a pre-conference where we'll be discussing also an important issue on the agro-processing zones that are being established all across Africa. So delegates can register and attend starting from Monday, and then the main 2 days where we have exhibition now and conference sessions and investor discovery sessions, that will be Tuesday, Wednesday, and then Wednesday it culminates into an award gala evening where we'll be celebrating some of the movers and shakers in the agricultural sector in Africa that have been nominated. So we'll just be honoring them and celebrating them over dinner and be able to just give the awards.
It sounds absolutely incredible. Please make your way down to Cape Town from Monday, the 24th until the 26th of November at the Cape Town ICC. Catch a plane, a bus, a train, whatever you need to head down there. But should you wish to register, agriindaba.org or agriindaba.com for our international audience, you can go on the website. Thank you very much. Joining us was Emmanuel Singano, Commercial Director of African Agri Investment Indaba. 1:30 on the digital clock. Let's check in with Figile Lingwati at his sports desk. Find out what the latest is.
Sports on Channel Africa.